Welkom terug by 10 Minutes with Kushe, waar ons sê wat die ANC nie wil hê jy moet hoor nie. Want iemand moet vir jou verduidelik hoekom hierde vloggenamde reënboog nasie nou net 'n grappie vir die wêreld is. Trump het ons 3 weke terug 'n lekker klap gegee. 30% tariffs sommer net so. En raai wat? Nou sluit ons Afrika broers aan by die party. Die East African Community, which encompasses Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda en Rwanda. En plaas van solidariteit se hulle betaal 35% tariffs on South Africa. Hou maar jou Mandela stories vir jouself. The auto industry is SA's golden goose. South Africa pulls over 600,000 cars a year, with over 60% exported. That's not just steel and wheels. It's 100,000 jobs directly and over 500,000 indirectly. That's cars, trucks, and parts. Our lifeline, worth more than 200 billion rand annually. Without it, our trade balance looks like Eskom's balance sheet. Shocking, unstable, and ready to collapse. So, Africa is not a small market. In 2021 alone, South Africa exported nearly 35 billion rand worth of vehicles and parts into Africa. Out of that SADC block, took about 28 billion. That's basically 80%. East Africa is one of the fastest growing markets globally, which compromises Kenya and Tanzania. They alone imported more than 4 billion worth of South African cars in 2022. So now here's the interesting part. But sure, let's insult the Americans, Let us side with Iran and cheer Hamas because clearly the ANC has a PhD in how to lose friends and alienate trade partners. So here's the big story. Here's the punishment from Africa. So Africa has turned the screws. Here's the part that the ANC doesn't get. Africa is punishing us. Yes, our own continent. For decades, South Africa thought it was the big brother on the African continent, sending peacekeepers, to the DRC, mediating conflicts, handling out aid, shouting African solidarity from the rooftops at the AU in Addis Ababa. But the new generation of African leaders are saying, nay. They're not buying this Mandela nostalgia. They don't want lectures. They want trade. They want money. And if South Africa plays stupid geopolitics, they'll punish us where it hurts, which is our exports. So listen to this. This is a doozy. Kenya and Tanzania have just slapped 35% tariffs on South African cars and machinery. That makes our Hiluxes, our Ford Rangers, and our Corolla Crosses way more expensive overnight. Imagine a Kenyan buyer who once paid 400,000 rand for his Hilux single cab, now has to pay 540,000 rand after tariffs. Guess what? He'll just buy a Toyota from Japan or a used import from Dubai instead. Or those illegal crossings of vehicles will just become more popular. Uganda and Rwanda following the same route. They're building up their own small auto assembly industries and tariffs on South African imports, meaning they get protection for local jobs while we lose ours. I keep asking you, where did we get the ANC? But don't worry, that's what the comrades tell you. Don't worry, comrades, we'll just blame apartheid. Or maybe even the CIA. Now, the numbers are bleak, you know. A 10% loss in East Africa nearly equates to 400 million rand gone annually, which is the price of our national dialogue. A 20% loss equals to 1 billion gone. Stretch that across 5 years, and we're looking at 5 billion sucked out of our economy. All because the ANC thinks shouting at Israel is more important than protecting jobs at BMW Roslyn. And that's just the auto sector. You have to add tariffs on steel, wine, and agriculture. And suddenly, South Africa isn't Africa's supplier anymore. It's Africa's cautionary tale. So here's the historical irony, because people can't believe or won't believe that Africa is turning on South Africa. Remember, South Africa used to bankroll the African Union. We actually held that thing up for quite a long. We sent troops to Burundi, Sudan, Mozambique. We poured billions into SADC while farmers are dying instead of looking after our people who support SADC. Their rescue missions, and how do they thank us? By taxing us into the ground. Yes, I support taxing the ANC. I really don't want to lie to you. But solidarity, my foot. Africa is telling us, you can keep your rhetoric, but we'll keep our market. Merry Christmas, Ramaphosa. Christmas came early for you. So South Africa used to be Africa's big brother. Now we're the broke uncle everyone avoids at that braai, because he'll drink your brandy and then lecture you about socialism. So Trump slapped us 3 weeks ago. East Africa slaps us now. And soon, Europe might join. I know Taiwan is joining. Why? Because while the world is playing chess, the ANC is still playing marabaraba with potholes. And here's the irony. ANC says they hate Western imperialism. Yet our exports to the West keep us going. ANC says they're the champions of Africa. Yet Africa itself just taxed us back into line. ANC says white farmers are the problem. Yet without Afrikaner engineering and farming, half of Africa wouldn't even get their maize. So, in closing, I don't have time to entertain the ANC's crap, but I'll tell you one thing. This is the cost of ANC's racist economic circus. We're losing billions. We're losing markets. We're losing respect. And it's not apartheid doing this. It's Ramaphosa and his comrades. Trump saw through the nonsense. Now East Africa does too. And if we keep going, South Africa will be isolated, broke, and begging, while the ANC blames white minorities, people from the comfort of their German sedans and SUVs. So remember, this solidarity crap isn't free. And thanks to the mighty ANC's policies, it's costing us everything. Quite literally, everything. Now, Donkey ANC, lekker man, lekker. Ladies and gentlemen, If you love the work we do at 10 Minutes with Kuhle, please do consider signing up for membership. It's as cheap as 20 Rand, as well as you can buy me a coffee by sending me a super chat in the comments below. As well as please do subscribe and share this message far and wide. Let us expose these hyenas, these leeches, these thugs, these pests and rodents. Let us expose them for what they are. Just a corrupt bunch of BS. Till next time, stay free and remain a true patriot to South Africa. Bye, donkey.